Welcome to the James C. Metzger Suffolk County National Football Foundation preview show. This is our second year. I'm Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports. How are you? I'm with Tom Combs, the sectional director for Section 11, which governs all of Suffolk County athletics. And Tom, it's great to see you. Summer's over. We're back at work.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go. Last week the football teams are out there starting to develop their seasons, and we're really excited about seeing this happen and come together for the upcoming season.
Second time we've had this preview show, and you see all the players in their uniforms. They all come in with the different divisions. Right now, Division 1 and 2 are in the building. It's pretty exciting for everybody to see the guys that they're going to be playing against, coaches they're playing against, and for you to see it all come together.
Yeah, it's back in the day when I was coaching, we didn't have anything like this, so I think this is a real shot in the arm for high school football in Suffolk County. I love seeing it myself. That's why I'm here. And I know the coaches are excited, and the kids get to see who they're going to be playing in the upcoming season. So again,
this is your 8th year as the executive director of Section 11, and you take care of all sports, guys, gals, fall, winter, spring. It's a daunting job trying to make everybody happy, doing the schedules. You finally get a break, and now you're right back at it. It's like you're right back in the soup.
Yeah, well, this is why I do what I do. 45 years in education, and I still love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So I can't wait.
Long Island champion. You won one of the first LICs at Harbor Fields, the head coach of football, longtime athletic director Pat Chug Medford. You've done a lot of things. You've been at every level, so you kind of understand the inner workings of what coaches, administrators, athletic directors, everybody goes through.
Yeah, well, that's, I kind of do.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Makes the job easier?
That's what makes the job fun, because I've been there, done that. I can help people. I try to. That's really my goal, to help as many administrators and coaches as I can. And then I get to go to the games, and I see the kids playing on the field, and the fans going nuts and crazy and having a lot of fun. So that's athletics has been my life, and it's going to continue that way.
So Len Genova does a great job at the National Football Foundation, the Suffolk County chapter, and they're supported by Orland and Cohen and Ray Nelson and his staff and Dr. James Pacey. And you see all the support around high school athletics, and it has to make you feel good from where we've been to where we are.
Exactly. A lot of really good people have jumped on board. Lenny, Ray, Dr. Pacey, phenomenal supporters of athletics. Newsday Sports does a great job covering us, and people want to see that. And I think the more we can do for our fans, our players, the better we're going to be better off.
When you roll in a new season, it's exciting for everybody. Last year we saw something that we may never see again in our lifetime, a player of the skill set of Joseph Filardi. When you look at a kid that had over 14,000 yards total as a quarterback at Half Hollow Hills West, and he moves on. And every year I say, after somebody like that graduates and wins the Hanson Award and is top athlete on Long Island, and I say, I'm never going to see that again, and we do.
And we do, year after year after year. Who's it going to be? Who's the next Filardi? And don't forget, Filardi had some studs around him as well. But nonetheless, they did a great job. It's who's going to be the next Gerald Filardi? Who's going to be the next Jason Gwaltney? On and on and on. I go way back. Josh Johnston, Darren Powell, I'm going to throw my guys in there.
Harbor Fields guys.
Don't get any better than that. So we're looking forward to it.
So we're doing a quarter of a century team from 2000 to 2024. And I was putting together a preliminary list of the top players in the last 25 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's all of Long Island. And I was thinking, do I bail out on this and do the quarter century team of just Nassau County and just Suffolk County? What makes it more special? I guess less is more. So if it's if it's all of Long Island, it's so much harder, though. When you talk about running backs, there was so many great running backs. And you said Jason Gwaltney. How about Matt Hahn from St. Anthony's? And you go through all of them. There's so many great players. But it's fun just looking back at all the old Long Island teams, the different winners of different awards. And you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't say one of the greatest receivers of all time was Joseph Filardi's receiver, Anthony Rayo. You'd have to agree. What an athlete.
Unbelievable. I had an opportunity to see him a couple times last year. It was a pleasure to watch.
So who will be this year's Joseph Filati? Who will be this year's Anthony Rayo? And that question remains to be answered, right?
Well, you're going to be talking to a lot of coaches today, and I'm sure they're going to tell you who is going to be the next superstar coming out of Section 11 Suffolk County football. And they're the experts, and so we'll leave it up to them.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing I will guarantee you on this show. If I brought Rick Punzone on, the Babylon head coach, who has done a great job with the Babylon team over all the years, he always tells me, it's an inside joke with him, I have a once-in-a-generation player. It's the best player I've ever had. But he says that all the time because he's so excited about the guys on his roster, the guys in his school, and the people he's coaching. I love that. I think that's good. Every coach should feel like that.
Every coach does feel like that. I think as of today, they've had 7 or 8 practices. They're going to see who's going to be that superstar, that stud kid coming out of their school, and that's the excitement of high school football. It's phenomenal.
Well, you guys in Section 11 do a phenomenal job at all sports, and I got to tell you, flag football from the start to where we are now, it has grown exponentially. People love it. The girls are flourishing in flag football.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Love it. We had 30 teams initially. We're up to about 38 teams next year, the most in the state. The girls are phenomenal with that. The coaches are working hard. They're doing off-season programs and so on, 7-on-7s all summer long. It's the next coming of football.
Tom Combs, everyone, here at the Suffolk County National Football Foundation's second annual preview show. And Tommy, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
All right, man. We're going to see Chris Boltrek. He's up next with his quarterback, Hudson Philbrick of Ward Melville High School. Hey, we're back at the Radisson Hotel, Suffolk County Media Day for high school football. I'm joined now by quarterback Hudson Philbrick of Ward Melville High School and Coach Chris Boltrek. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Ward Melville football is for real for a long time now. Coach, you've done a great job. You've had tremendous skill position players, as we've seen over the years, like a J.J. Lapp, for instance, who went on, had a little stint with the L.A. Rams. Now you got guys on this team like Hudson. He's only a junior quarterback. I watched you play last year, and you had a fantastic game, and I said, this is one of the players here at Ward Melville, another great athlete, and you told me you were a sophomore, and I was kind of blown away by that. How hard is it to be a leader in a program where there's so many great players that are upperclassmen and you're only a sophomore? How do you take control of that?
Well, I actually find it easier because then there's better mentors above me, as in Brendan Kurtz, Pat Vasquez. They really taught me how to be a better leader, and it was just a really good environment to be in.
Learn as you go and learn from the seniors, basically?
Yeah.
So now this year you take the team, second year, you're a junior. You had a fantastic year last year. You threw 14 touchdowns. And this team is always on the cusp of a Suffolk County championship or winning a Suffolk County championship. And the goal, I know, is to win the Lion championship. How exciting is that for you?
Very exciting. I dream about it every night. Doesn't leave my mind once.
Coach, when you look at a quarterback like this with his skill set, great arm, can do a lot of things, already 6'2", 185, does that make things easier doing your game plan?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever had a returning starter at quarterback. Wow. So, and this will be my 11th season. I've always had a senior start. So to be able to have a quarterback that I can have for multiple seasons and help him in the process and get him to grow into what eventually he's going to become is huge for us. It's huge for our program. And just in that past year, since last year, the maturity and everything is really set in for him, and I think sky's the limit.
The division is top heavy in Division I in Suffolk County, and I'm sure opening the season with a 1 versus 3 and a 2 versus 4, puts it right out there for you. First game of the year. Mm-hmm. How were your 7-on-7s this year and your gym workouts? Was everybody all in?
Yeah, it seems that this year there's just a new motive. I feel like we just want it more than ever this year. 7-on-7s look really good. Everybody's pumping iron really nicely in the weight room. I just think this year is going to be really good.
Generic question. You beat Floyd during the season last year. Mm-hmm. Then you lose to them in the playoffs. What kind of motivation is that for this year? Or is it dangerous to just focus on one great program and not Longwood, Sachem North, and all the other good teams?
Well, I feel like if you focus on the best one, then you prep for that, you really are prepping for every other game that's coming on along the way.
I like that. And Coach, how do you keep your guys away from thinking this is the game of the year and focusing on William Floyd instead of Longwood, which always has a great program, Sachem North?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. It's that cliche 1 week at a time. As much as the goal is to, be the standard, in which case in Division I you have to beat Floyd. Like you said, week in and week out, Division I football is brutal. And we have, the mentality of we cannot overlook any team in front of us because it's happened. It's happened to us.
So, Hudson, I want to ask you, last year the team had 9 sophomores on the roster, all guys in your grade, all your friends. That's got to be comforting, too. Like, here are guys that I've played with all the way through the ranks, and they're on the team with me, getting valuable experience.
Yeah. It just really helps out with the chemistry. Like, most of the sophomores that we're playing with right now, we've been playing since we were, 10 or 11. So the chemistry has just been building up, and just the opportunity to just keep getting better with them along the way. To really see that.
You have good balance in the offense. You throw the ball well all over the field. You have some of the better receivers. I know you have Joey Karpowitz back this year. And tell me about the running game. Joe DiBenedetto, he's one of the better running backs around. He had over 1,000 yards last year.
Joey Benedetto is really, really good. He makes my job really easy. It's just whenever we're in the backfield, he already knows what's happening. You really don't have to tell him anything. He's really experienced. He knows what he's doing.
Coach, winning these big games, stopping guys like Jaquan Thomas of William Floyd is ultimately what's going to win those games. One guy stood out on the field for you last year was a junior, and when I was doing the top 100, I couldn't help but go through your team, and I'm like, there's a lot of tough decisions here just for Ward Melville. Liam Cronin.
Yeah.
Is he the leader on your defense?
Yeah, Liam is, last year I thought he was the best middle linebacker anywhere in Division I. And to have him back as a senior and a leader, a motor that is unmatched in that position, he is definitely the guy who's going to, run us on defense wherever we need to go.
So you're a very unselfish player. I'm on my final questions. You didn't have any rushing touchdowns this year. What about the tush push? How come you can't get a cheap touchdown?
I almost did have one. I sold it, bobbled the snap.
No.
Yeah.
So you probably just rather just give it to Benedetto and let him take care of business?
Yeah, he's much better off with the ball.
Hey, guys, good luck this year. It's going to be a fantastic year at Ward Melville. Coach, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Hudson Philbrick and Coach Chris Baltrek will be back at the Suffolk County Media Day here in high school football. Greg Sarah back here at the Radisson. It's Suffolk County Media Day, high school football style. I'm sitting with Huntington coach Ron Wilson and quarterback Jacob Guzik. And guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So last year you guys had a little bit of a coming out party. Huntington rose in the ranks, competed with everybody, had a couple of huge wins. Coach, what was the turning point in the season last year where you guys got this momentum to grab this year's 3rd seed?
Well, we opened up with Northport, and we played them very competitively that year, and we fell to them. And then on to Newfield, which is a great program, great athletes, and we also lost that game. So, we had to try to find ourselves in those losses, and sometimes you do. And I think from there, that's when we started to rally. Even going up against some great teams like North Bab and Bellport and beating those great teams, that helped us to maintain, that winning streak that we had going on.
So you have a special quarterback in Jacob Guzik this year, and it looks like you went from an all-run program to more of a balanced attack. And Jacob, you could probably speak a little bit about that. Did you feel like the offense got in gear when you were spreading it out a little bit more and throwing the football?
Yeah, definitely. Spreading out the offense is easier. We bring in Coach Taylor this year, and he really transformed our offense. Making me run, throw the ball, get it to our playmakers. It's a very dynamic offense with him.
Having an offense with a lot of RPOs and with a quarterback with dynamic ability, his completion percentage last year was over 70%, threw for over 1,200 yards. Should we expect to see a little bit more in the passing game from the Blue Devils this year?
You should expect to see quite a bit of passing this year. And,
Why not, right?
and not that our running backs are slouches, but our running backs are great too. But I think the passing game will definitely open up that run game for us as well.
So when you look at the Huntington running game, Yasir Jones has to be somebody that's the main back. He's a big guy, 6'2", 195. Is that the balance you're looking for? A strong running game on inside, and then being able to spread it out on the outside.
Absolutely, 100%. Having him back there, he's that big back that we want to use in between the tackles. We have another running back, Titan Alizi, who has great track speed, and he can hit those corners for us. So, we have a dynamic backfield as well as these receivers that we have, and this great young man we have to my right.
Coach, when I look at your roster, it's a lot of seniors. You got a lot of experience, which should bode well this year. Yes. But when I look at your schedule, it doesn't start out very easy. You start against the defending champions from Half Hollow Hills East. Third time you play them in a row. Playoffs, end of regular season, and then a playoff game, right? And now, so the familiarity is there. How do you feel about that, playing Hills East?
It's honestly super exciting because we lost to them twice in a row last year, playing them third time in a row. Looking for some revenge, to be honest, Yeah.
I like the fact that, you have to go into the season thinking like that. You're going to play them sooner or later. Mm-hmm. You want to play a tough schedule, and as a 3 seed, you get a tough schedule.
Yes, it's a very tough schedule, and you're going to have to play all the top teams. And some of those top teams you're playing, even though you're a top team, you're playing them at home. And that's why we chose our mantra this year is nothing easy. Nothing is going to be easy. But there's a flip side to that coin as well. It's not going to be an easy game for them as well. We're a very tough, competitive team. We have a great coaching staff that's doing a great job with these young people and helping this young man making these great reads. So we feel that that's going to definitely play into our favor.
We talked offense. We talked great quarterback. You seem excited about this, not like, oh, deer in the headlights, Hills East, whoa, Daniel White, great running back at Hills East. Absolutely, great line. Defense is what'll win this game. Mm-hmm. How important is it for your defense to have a big game in the season opener?
Very important for us defensively. We're missing a huge part of our defense, which was Timmy McDonald, who played inside linebacker for us, who did a phenomenal job running the defense and making some great plays for us. So we're going to use some other guys who we feel a little bigger, maybe not as fast, but can pretty much do what Timmy did, and maybe even better what Timmy McDonald did.
The success of any great football team starts at the quarterback position. I hear you're all about poise, you're an accurate thrower, but the most important thing is you're a team leader.
Yes, sir.
How important is that, 3-year starter?
Yeah, 3-year starter. I just try to bring my experience to everyone else on the team, try to unite everyone. I think just being able to trust the guys around you and getting them to really trust each other is how we're going to find success with each other.
Well, I think you guys are going to have a fantastic season. Coach, your final thoughts?
And he's 100% right. Trusting the guys around him. He has a great nucleus around him. He has a slot receiver, Frankie Algieri, who's going to do a phenomenal job for him, I know. And he was one of our safeties. And I think had he not gotten hurt that Thursday before we played Hills East in Week 8, might have been a different story. Could have changed the outcome of the season because he's just that good. He has a couple of receivers in Jack Kamenstein and Henry Gerberg, who's going to do a great job. We're just a team that's made up of some great lacrosse players and some track kids that's looking to do it all out there on the football field.
You brought that element to the football program. You brought all the athletes to the football program from other sports. I think that's the one thing that you did, Coach, was that you brought everybody to football, and that's why you guys are successful.
Well, we definitely appreciate that. We definitely appreciate what everyone's doing for football and putting football back as that top priority with that sport being one of the greatest sports ever in America. And we got to continue to make Long Island football great just like it is down there in the South.
I love it. Coach Ron Wilson, quarterback Jacob Guzik. Good luck, guys.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Greg Sarah of Newsday Sports back here on the Suffolk County preview show for high school football, joined now by the Westhampton Beach Hurricanes coach Brian Schomloffel and quarterback Jay Calloway. Welcome, fellas. Excited to have you guys. Saw one of your alumni play football for the Las Vegas Raiders against the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. Dylan Labby was fantastic. I mean, if he doesn't make the team, I'll be shocked. He was great on all special teams, ran the ball well, 2 big catches. Enough of that. I could talk about Dylan all day. Let's talk about you. Last year, Jake, you got injured in the early part of the season, broke a rib, and also punctured a lung. Missed most of the season, came back, played. Now you're back as a junior. How excited are you for 2025?
I can't wait. The season's going to be awesome. I think we're going to be solid. Our line is amazing. We got two big boys, Ben McGee, John Paul. They're going to lead the line. Sonny Hebert, who's a freshman last year, upcoming sophomore, he's going to be solid. At receiver, Pat Fay, he's awesome. He's going to be our receiver one this year.
Two-way guy, Pat Fay?
Yeah, he plays safety on defense as well. And then we got a new kid who's coming back to football for his first year in a while, Daniel Shannon. I think he's going to be solid.
So take me through the injury last year. It wasn't even playing quarterback like I assumed, not bad by me, that you got drilled at quarterback and you were exposed, but it was you on defense.
Yeah, so we were playing Hills West. Our quarterback was running the ball to the right, and I rolled down at safety. I kind of dove to make the tackle, and then I must have got I was wearing a rib protector too, so I must have gotten spot where it wasn't. It must have been his knee or cleat or something. It just jammed right in there.
Coach, you missed him for most of the season. You said that he was injured in week 1 and then came back to lead you guys to 5 straight wins. Impact player and only a sophomore last year, so you're expecting big things in this year?
Yeah, we were really excited to start the season with Jake at quarterback, and that first opening week injury was a real blow to us. But we played tough, and we played Hurricane football, and we nursed him back, and he came back, and he made an immediate impact when he came back with those 5 straight wins for us.
You said the team was young last year, obviously, and that you may not have had the best skill position guys you've had over the years, but you've been spoiled, to be honest with you, Coach. I mean, you've had 3 Hanson Award winners in a row, and when you look at that, you look at this group of kids, they all had to be young, playing in the youth program, watching Liam McIntyre and Dylan Lauby, and is that true? Did you watch those guys play?
When I was playing PAL football, we'd all come to the games, and it's awesome to watch them.
So when you look at that helps build the program.
And that's really important. I mean, you know how important Friday nights are at Westhampton, and what a big thing it is for our community. And we try and build our culture around that from the younger kids up. We take a lot of effort of making ourselves visible and taking a look at those young PAL players and bringing our varsity kids down to talk to them. And we just want to keep on rolling. And like you said, we've had great talent over the year, and we've been really fortunate.
I loved coming out watching you guys play. When you look at, Jaden Alfano St. John and Liam McIntyre, and like I said, Dylan Lauby, those are the obvious names.
Yeah.
But John Mendoza, there's been a tremendous amount of great talent out there. And, I was looking back at your rosters and looking at Quinlan and all these guys. I'm like, wow, you've been blessed with great players. The culture is a winning culture, and you're right. I love coming out to the Pines and seeing you guys play the Pine Barrens. It's great, but it's always cold.
Yeah.
It's never warm out there. And I always complained about the press box because that's me, bougie. I need a better press box. New facilities.
Got a new grandstand, new visitors side, beautiful new press box with heat.
Oh, nice.
So we're all set.
Was that for me or for your announcer?
That was for you.
I love coming out there for a lot of other reasons too, because you do have that small town, that small community feel. Mm-hmm. Everybody supports the program. Everybody's all in. I love your entrance when the kids come in. Do you still do the purge?
Absolutely.
See, that to me is if you don't get the chills before a Westhampton football game, you have no. What are you doing? Yeah. You have no feelings. You love that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
First time you ran out of the tunnel to the purge, what was that like?
Just nerves, excited. I was very excited running out. Awesome. So
you're learning how to quarterback with one of the better quarterback coaches in Long Island, in Magna. Cole Magna, right?
Yep.
He's still with you guys. Phenomenal coaching. Yeah. How much has he helped you?
He's been great. Everything in the off season, I train with him. Speed, strength. He's amazing. He's always there for me. He helps everyone out. It's awesome.
A little known fact that I know that every summer, and I don't know if he still does it, you guys could tell me, Eli Manning, who lived in Quogue, would come out and throw footballs to all the skilled guys at Westhampton. It would be like a treat for them too. Have you ever had the opportunity to throw with Eli Manning?
I have not.
Oh, you need to make a request.
Yeah.
Right, Coach? That
so he hasn't come by in a couple of years. He's still in the community. We still see him out. But he came out a couple of years ago. Our players who are on the roster now haven't had the fortune of working with him.
There's a full request that he do that again because it was like the coolest thing ever. And I had talked to Dylan about it when I did Dylan's story out with the Las Vegas Raiders, and he took me through the whole Eli Manning experience. And he said, it's just another thing that you just can soak in and be like a sponge and listen to a professional, one of the greatest to ever do it. He says, and it was a big deal. So you got it rolling at Westhampton. I mean, what do we expect for this year? You're the 3 seed?
With a 2 seed.
2 seed.
So, we always talk about being in the mix in November. We want to be there in November. We want to play on Thanksgiving Day weekend. And that's our goal every year. I mean, that's where we are as a program. And that's the expectations we set for our players.
So you look at players like Jake, and Jake, you're also an outstanding lacrosse player. Is your future on the lacrosse field or in the football field?
Lacrosse field.
Lacrosse field?
Yeah.
But you do find that having all those skills in lacrosse, field vision, the athleticism, the speed, the agility, it makes a big difference in football.
Yeah, it definitely correlates.
When you look at your schedule this year, do you circle any teams, or is there anybody on that schedule that you say this is a team we have to beat?
It's always Sayville. They're like our rivals. It's always fun playing them. It'd be awesome to beat them this year. I think we definitely have a shot. Smithtown, week 1 we have. That would be an awesome game.
That could be. Smithtown doesn't play defense. They play offense. I don't know if that's going to happen again this year, but they've had games in the last couple of years that are like 75-60, 65-52. I mean, they can score points. Their offense is amazing. You got to learn how to stop a few people. So defense will be the key to winning that game. Get a few stops, you can win that game.
Yeah, for sure.
So good luck in the season opener.
Thank you.
Hey, I love it. Brian Schonloffel, coach of Westhampton Beach Hurricanes, and his quarterback, Jake Calloway. We'll be back. I'm Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports. Greg Sarah of Newsday Sports back on the Suffolk County Preview Show here at the Radisson Hotel, joined by Miller Place coach Adam St. Nicholas and quarterback Shane Kiernan. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
So, is your arm still intact? You threw almost 300 passes last year. Is it going to be an aerial show again this year?
Yeah, we're playing on it. We have a lot of good athletes on the perimeter again, so.
So coach was telling me a lot of non-football players or prior football players are now out for the program, and a lot of guys come out for the team. Was it a big surprise to you to see some of the guys out for tryouts?
Not really. I mean, in the offseason, I definitely talked to a lot of these guys, trying to recruit them back. So
Coach, you look at your quarterback.
Yep.
You're bringing back an experienced arm. He threw for 2,885 yards last year.
Yep.
The numbers are striking, but it's still going to come down to can you stop people on defense? Has the defense improved? And you're going to say, how can they? They left.
They did. So we graduated all 11
Wow.
on our defense last year that started in our Suffolk County Championship game. So there are definitely some positions that we have to fill. But over the past week and a half, it's been exciting to see a lot of the kids that were on the team last year that were at the Suffolk Championship understanding that they have to, step up and they have to run around and they have to make sure that, they have big shoes to fill and they're out there to prove it and kind of show where their legacy is, their Miller Place legacy. And that's kind of the message that I told them to start. Who are you going to be remembered as? And it's one day at a time. It's a process, and I think that the boys are doing a pretty good job right now.
8-3 record last year. You've had you've been right in the mix in every game. Some great games against Babylon. You've had big wins against Shoreham, big wins against Mount Sinai. But it doesn't seem like anybody in the division's been able to get over the Bayport Blue Point hurdle. Mm-hmm. Are they strong again this year?
So they are strong. I know that they do a tremendous job offensively, defensively. They're really big up front, and they have a system, and they certainly stick to their system. And it's time of possession, maintaining control of the clock, and keeping your offense off the field and playing tremendous defense. And they've kind of built that up over the past couple of years. And they're
Shane, you're a competitive guy. We've had some good conversations. You threw for 550 yards, a Suffolk County record last year. You threw for 29 touchdowns. You make a lot of good throws into coverage where you don't throw interceptions. What's different about Shane Kiernan this year from years past? Or is it still the same guy going to get the job done?
It's just the same thing, just trusting my receivers to make plays. They've been great for me last year, and I expect the same thing this year.
How important is it for the offensive line to be together, to give you the protection, to give you the time so you're not running out of the pocket? You ran for 2 touchdowns last year. Not exactly Joseph Filotti-like rushing numbers, right? You're a thrower. That's what you do. How do you stay safe?
The line does a great job. They come to practice, they work hard, and hopefully this year we can add that element to this year too.
Couple great kids in the conference. Babylon has Aiden Winter, one of the top players on Long Island. Another guy who's multi-talented, all different positions, and coach game planning. Another guy you have to be worried about.
Yeah, Aiden Winter is tremendous. I mean, we saw him for the first time when he was a 9th grader, and we had a kid, Joel Spagnola, I don't know if you remember, but he's on the goal line. He runs through Joel as a senior to score a touchdown, and right then we knew that this kid's a tremendous player. And game planning for this kid every single year, I mean, it's somebody who keeps you up at night.
Yeah, Rick Punzone, the head coach of Babylon, we joke about it all the time, he and I, that he calls him a once-in-a-generation player, generational talent. You would agree?
I would agree. He's and it's similar to Shane over here. I was actually talking with an assistant coach last week, and he's like, Shane's a unicorn. He's a once-in-a-career quarterback that you get a chance to coach. And I understand that. His cerebralness, his ability to kind of do what he does has been tremendous. And I think that him, Aiden Winter, I mean, they are two phenomenal high school players.
So as a quarterback, what's the first thing you do game day? If it's a Friday night, Friday afternoon. If it's a Saturday morning for an afternoon game, what's the first thing you're checking out?
Really just trying to get in the zone, be mentally prepared, just so when it's game time, you're just ready.
How about the most important thing for me would always be, what's the weather like? Do you worry about that? Because you got a great arm. Do you worry about it?
I will check the weather, but I feel like last year we had the Suffolk County Championship game was rain, and we had another game that was really windy. And I do feel like I can still throw in pretty bad conditions.
When you look at that, is that something as a coach, it's obviously something that's on your radar?
Listen, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was concerned last year a couple times. We checked the weather and you see like 30-mile-an-hour winds. Right. We went to John Glenn last year, 30-mile-an-hour winds, and I was very concerned. But the arm strength on Shane and the ability, we went empty. I think he threw for 315 yards or something like that game. His arm strength is so tremendous that those passes are still able to kind of get there.
So in a fun way, and I have to bring this up because it's kind of it's a fun thing. I know you'll love this. So Newsday is doing its first ever high school fantasy football league. Okay. Right? Do you think he'll be a first-round draft pick?
I said, listen, I'd take him number 1 if I was you.
You know what? If I have the first pick, I'll pick him number 1. Greg Sauer of Newsday Sports here at the Suffolk County Preview Show at the Radisson, and I am joined by two of my favorite people, Adam St. Nicholas of Miller Place, the head coach, and Shane Kiernan, the outstanding quarterback. Guys, thanks so much and good luck this year.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Take care.
We're back on the Suffolk County Preview Show, the National Football Foundation Suffolk chapter, and joining me now is Dr. James Pacey of Orland and Cohen, a huge supporter of the National Football Foundation. Hello, Doc. How are you?
Thanks for having me today, Greg.
Long time no see. You just did my knee surgery 3 weeks ago, and I'm flying around the hotel. I wouldn't say flying. I say moving quickly. So your work is top notch.
You're doing awesome.
So I wanted to talk to you about things that are different in today's game. Recovery, keeping people healthy on the field, like stretching properly and getting ready for games. I know you a big proponent of all of that.
Right, so the difference from when we were on the field, Greg, we didn't have the technology that we have available today. We have the ability to get kids back on the field faster, safer, and feeling better. I remember days of double sessions and jumping in the old cold tub, trying to do what we could to keep our legs fresh. And now we have active compression technology, Firefly technology, certain different materials in the outfits and the sleeves that people are able to use to get healthy faster, feel better faster, and really turn around and be ready for the next practice.
The biggest endorsement for recovery, and I think Orland Cohen is the leader in that, is offering free recovery after games on weekends for all sports. It's not just football, it's everybody.
Right. We have a terrific program, and it's our pleasure at Orland & Cohen to offer this to Long Island's athletes, both in Suffolk and in Nassau County. Between our Garden City, now our Woodbury office, and our Bohemia office, every Sunday we have recovery clinics open throughout the football season and the fall. And then depending on how things go in Woodbury, we'll probably extend that through the year, but it runs year-round in Bohemia and year-round in Garden City right now.
We talk about stretching and how important it is to stretch and to hydrate. And I just came back from Arizona. I had the pleasure of seeing Dylan Lobby of Westhampton Beach and the University of New Hampshire play for the Las Vegas Raiders. If you're not hydrated properly in Arizona or Las Vegas, you're in trouble. In the early part of the fall athletic season, how important it is for people to hydrate.
You know, really year-round it is, but especially in this heat that we have early in the preseason, when we're doing double sessions and things along those lines, you know, we see most of our heat-related issues early in the season. One, it's because the kids are still getting in shape, but two, because they don't hydrate properly and they don't keep an eye on their nutrition. Early on in the season, your body's still adjusting to the increased activity. The temperature is there. If you're not staying ahead of it, you're behind.
It seems like nowadays is an athletic trainer at every football game, at every athletic event, if a district can afford to do that, or if there's 3 or 4 events going on at the high school at the same time, they're flying around in a golf cart, making sure they're touching base with every sport. And like you said, early in the fall, that's super important.
Right. You know, our athletic trainers are our eyes and ears on the field. As physicians, we can't be everywhere all the time. And we're fortunate here on Long Island that the schools have made that a priority to look out for the kids. You know, that to me is your chief safety officer on site for your athletic program.
You know, I look at different football games and the health care that happens at the field. How important is that to have that kind of service and that care immediately when an athlete is injured?
You know, when we talk about different sports, we look at collision sports, we look at contact sports and down the line. And really those collision sports and certainly the contact sports as well need that added level of safety. When something unfortunately does happen, having the right personnel there who are trained properly and who have practiced what they're doing is very important. God forbid somebody has a spine injury or a head injury. It's really important how that person is taken care of from the second of the accident through their final care. And we do everything we can to help train athletic trainers on Long Island and the personnel to be able to do that.
Orland & Cohen has also been a leader in head injuries, telling people how to prevent them, how to recognize them. You know, a leader in the concussion protocols. How important is that for Suffolk County athletics to understand all the concussion protocols?
You know, I think over time we've gotten more and more comfortable with that as a community. And early on there was a lot of pushback, and now I think the concussion program is very well accepted. The policies from the state and through Section 11 that go out to the Suffolk County teams and medical staffs are really solidly founded in good science now. But we're always learning more and more, and that's where having leaders like Danielle Magrini, who runs our concussion program, she's our primary care sports doctor, to be engaged in this field and helping push the science and making sure everybody's doing the right thing.
Well, Doc, everybody seems to be on the same page as we start the 2025 high school season. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure. Thanks for everything.
We'll see you out there, Greg.
Yes, you will. Greg Sarah, Newsday Sports with Dr. James Pacey of Orland & Cohen. We'll be right back on the Suffolk County Preview Show. Well, that'll do it from the Suffolk County Preview Show. Greg Sarah here from Newsday Sports at the Radisson Hotel in Hop Park. We had a great day. We had every football team, their coaches, their players here at the Radisson to talk about the upcoming 2025 season. We'd like to thank the coaches from Miller Place, Westhampton, Huntington, and Ward Melville for joining us here with the National Football Foundation, the Suffolk County chapter. And we'd also like to thank Orland & Cohen and Dr. James Pacey, who did a phenomenal job helping us usher in the 2025 season. Have a great year. I'm Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports.